Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I hope I'm pretty audible. You can hear me, right? All right, great. So this was said 150 years ago. A lie can travel halfway around the world while the truth is still pulling its boots. This was said 150 years ago by Charles Spurgeon, and this is true even today, wherein lie has crept into our email inboxes, and as she just now said, that even a child has an email. And today, this is what the topic that we will be talking about. So before we deep delve into this, I would like to firstly thank the organizers, the organizing committee, for organizing such beautiful event. Okay, so just to give a quick brief about Odyssey Technologies. We are a 35-year-old company that have been building PKI products and PKI-enabled applications in India, and we are proud OEMs for creating these products and solutions. Odyssey Technologies have been the first member of the PKI forum, and we have been building products even before IT Act 2000 came into effect. And we were the first ones to enable the first certifying authority in India to use our product services and enable to issue digital certificates to the people and for government sectors. And I am sure that many of you may have directly or indirectly used our solutions. If at all you have used digital banking, or if you've used any government websites, I'm sure that you must have come across our solution, our product offering. All right, so why are we here? Let me ask you something. What is the first thing we do when we reach our office and we turn on our laptop? What is the first application that we open? It's email, right? And what is the last thing you open and view before you leave your office? Right? And you see that major important decisions are made over email. Your boss or a CFO saying that go ahead and initiate payments, or raise invoices or POs or board MOMs. They are all exchanged over email. Board documents, they are all exchanged over emails. Payment links, if I have to ask you, they are sent over email because that's the norm, and email predates even web. So we have been using email, and we use it even till date, predominantly in every area to make important decisions as far as our organizations are concerned. So it has grown in securing the email server systems, but we have left one major gap, that is identifying the sender of that email. And this is what the hackers are using to send spam emails, phishing emails, and we have seen some great examples of some of the people who came and gave a live demonstration of how this can be easily tricked and work. And with AI coming in, this has become even more easier, wherein even a child can try to send a phishing email. So although our technology has evolved, but this one single thing of identifying the user, the sender of that email, still remains largely a question. Today, we are here to address that with our solution, and this is the only solution that is out there that addresses the very core issue of phishing email. So if you're here, I'll just need your quick attention for the next few minutes that I have left to discuss about this. Okay, so as I talk, there are millions and billions of phishing emails that are sent across to your emails, to your and my emails, right? And these numbers are pretty evident of how at a massive scale the attacks are taking place. In fact, if you see the first number, it says 8.3 billion phishing emails have been sent only in Q1 of 2026. Okay, 3.4 billion phishing emails are sent globally, and this is published by United Nations, some of the well-known sources. 4.89 billion global losses using phishing and business email compromise. Now, all the security conscious people that are sitting out here, I am sure that your organization would have implemented DMARC. Can I see your hands? If you have implemented DMARC in securing your email email security solutions, right? That's the number it says. 84% of phishing attacks bypass DMARC. And we feel that we are all secure. As the gentleman said earlier, that unless we fall victim to a scam, we feel that we are secure, isn't it? Well, you can see, and today, we are here to discuss about this, and we want to tell and inform each one of you that we do not want you to be the stats next year, all right? And this is something which you can easily, we can address it very easily, okay? All right, so we'll do one quick thing. I have a very few minutes remaining with me. We'll quickly play this game of can you spot the difference, okay? You see two identical links, right? Can you tell me if they are same or different? It's different? Yes, what is the difference, the missing? The font, well, I have used the same font. But other than the font, do you see any difference in the alphabets visually? No, right? Here's another example. The recent regulatory RBI changes, if you're aware, we have changed the domain from bank.com to bank.in, right? This is one such example. Okay, I've not written any bank's name. This website does not exist. I didn't want to get in trouble. So do you see any difference here? No, right? So if you see here in this LinkedIn URL is a real one, whereas that is a fake. It uses one of the Unicode character I, okay? And in this one, this first bank, the first URL is a fake one, okay? Because it's using a character, Unicode character A. And this is what we educate the employees in our organization, saying that read your emails well, check for the domain. If the domain is correct, visually if it's right, go ahead and only then trust that email. But just now I have showed you that it's not possible. We can't just leave it visually to the user to decide whether an email is fake or genuine. So if you see here, I'm sure that many of your organization have already enabled all of these checklists, whether you have an SPF, DKIM, spam filters, right? We all have this enabled. But I think just in the previous slide, we have seen that there are still attacks that takes place in spite of securing your email servers. Because all these while, what we've been doing is securing our email systems, email servers, and missing out the very human identity behind who has sent the mail, right? And this is what the hackers are using to exploit and send phishing emails, making it look so real that you will end up believing that it's actually come from a trusted source. And that is what we've been doing. In fact, that this identifying the sender of that email is not even part of this checklist, if you see, right? You have spam controls, DMARC, lately BIMI, to identify the logo, right, of your organization, but nowhere it can tell you whether it's actually come from a human whom you can identify. And that is where we come in. We have, for the very first time, launched our ZorkiSign email solution that addresses this very gap that exists today, wherein we are not just, okay, one thing I would like to make it very clear, that all the security solutions in terms of securing your systems and mail servers, they are required, but they have just stopped at the server. They start at the server and they stop at the server. What we have done is we've gone one step further in identifying the human behind who has clicked the send button, and we are allowing the recipient to verify the identity of the sender. So how does this work? It's pretty simple. Okay, we have kept the email experience, whether it's the sender who's sending an email or a recipient who's receiving an email, the experience is very simple. We have implemented, using our focus area of PKI, we have implemented digital signatures into email. So every email which a sender sends in an organization will have his identity, have his digital signature on that email as part of his mail. And every time a recipient gets an email, this is what he sees. So we have made it very simple. We have asked the user not to remember 10 important things to check for the grammar, check for the domain. We have said, if you can see a green bar, okay, that's the email which is sent by so-and-so person. You can see the name of the person and the organization from he comes from, okay? So we have not limited only to that email, but we have made the sender's identity, his verifiable credentials as part of his email. And if it's anything other than green, you have to be cautioned. And it has the intelligence to even identify if an email is tampered, And we are using the same age-old technology of PKI. And this solution is a PKI-compliant solution. What we have done is we have brought this technology into the hands of each and everyone sitting here, including the general people, the citizens. So how do I use this? Okay, this will be the question. As security professionals, I understand that when we have to implement a solution, there's a deployment. You have to look at the network architecture, deployment, servers. How this works is, as individuals, we use emails which can be sent from a web browser or a mail client. We support those. If you are using a web mail, we support all the popular browsers. Using a simple extension, you can start signing your emails. Or if you're using a mail client, we have the plugins, the add-ons for mail clients that sits on your email. Every time you send an email, it gets automatically signed and sent to the recipient. But you will ask me a fundamental question of signing an email requires a digital certificate. It's much like you needing a pen if you want to do a physical signature, a wet signature. And that is true. What we have tried to do for the very first time is that whether you have a digital signature certificate, which is present to you in a token, I'm sure that many of you would have seen a DSC token, right? Okay, if you have a token, you can immediately start signing. And we have even covered those who do not have a DSC token in using the same PKI concept in signing your emails and sending. So how this can be simpler? So with this, what we have tried to do is we have tried to extend the trust by every email which you send using your device, okay? So you will ask me something like, okay, for a DSC, I need to carry a DSC for signing, right? So we have made it fairly easy for each and everyone to use your mobile devices to sign and send emails, okay? So your mobile device becomes a trust device wherein the signature happens and your identity gets attested in your email, which is endorsed by your organization, and all the attributes that belong to you as an individual gets part of your email and the recipient can verify it. And we made it fairly simpler by enabling auto signing. For every physical signature you do, you have to be physically present there and you have to sign, right? But for this, we have made it fairly simpler for each and every one, wherein they can decide to automatically sign every email the moment they click on send, or if they want to just, they have additional controls of whether they want to sign a mail or if they do not want to sign a mail. So we have made it relatively simpler for each and every one to not spoil their existing email experience in drafting emails and sending, or for that matter, verifying an email. So we have gone one step ahead, okay? Now, although we support some of the email client apps, such as Gmail to verify emails, we have also developed our ZorkiSign mail app, wherein if you have a mail services that you're using, okay, I'm sure that many of you would use a Gmail app to configure your official mail servers, mail settings, and receive and send emails from your phone. So we have even went in one step ahead and made it easier by coming out with this app wherein every email that you send from your device can get digitally signed, and every digitally signed email that you receive can be verified within the app itself. So now this is one such functionality that many of us use, especially the senior leadership or in government officials, wherein they delegate responsibilities. Okay, I think I'll just take a few minutes, okay? Wherein they can delegate the signing process, they can delegate it to their secretary assistant to sign on behalf of the official, and we have made it traceable. Okay, if you see this specific green bar here, it says it's signed and sent by Balu for Aditya Sharma. So every email will carry this identity saying that this was approved by the official and he is authorized to send an email on behalf of the senior official. So we have even got your the delegation part covered as part of our solution. And so the major question of, do I need to have DSC for every person in my office? Not required. If you have a DSC, you can attest the details of all your employees. All that they need to have is just an app, a key created which is attested by your organization certificate, and using their device, they can start signing. And we have got your back, even if you do not have a DSC. With eSign, you can attest your details and you can start signing and sending your emails. So how will the recipients know that the senders are from my office? So for the very first time, what we've tried to do is we have also attested alongside the identity of the user, the additional attributes, the extended attributes such as what is the designation of that user, whether he is authorized to make a statement, what he has made in that email, all those become part of that email, whether he's part of an organization, since when. All these extended attributes can also be part of your email. This is to ensure that we build trust back into the email system. And so we covered already, okay, these are some of the extended attributes that you can make it part of your email that you send today, and you can start signing and sending your emails today, because this is the only option that can remove and eradicate phishing attacks that are growing prevalent in our time, in our day and age. And I'm sure with the advent of AI, this is becoming even more easier to do with AI spam bots spamming our spam filters, and ultimately we have phishing emails that lands in our inbox. So these are some of our mail clients that we support. I'm sure if you have any questions, we have a stall there right out. You can meet us. So who is it for? Okay, this is a fundamental question. It's for each one of us. It's for every person who's working in an organization, a government official, a government agency, and each and every individual, even a child, right? Okay, so we have got each and every one covered to address this, while these are some of the key verticals and businesses that we need to target and cover, and we've got a great mile to cover to address this very issue, and this is the solution that we are offering here today that can address that. So just one key takeaway point that I would want to give you before I leave from here. It is said that AI can AI can attack everything that is there out there on the digital world. It can replicate, it can attack, but it cannot replicate a digital signature, okay? And with this, I would like to thank the organizers once again. Our stall is right outside. We are Odyssey Technologies. This is Sreeyash signing off. Thank you.